Good afternoon, guys. Just doing another update here. I'm in the middle of filling up my IBC tote. I don't know if I've ever shown you this, but this is where I fill it up at, just at the top here. And that's 250 gallons, which is quite a bit, but it was actually about 3/4 empty. So that's why I like having this. It's easy to check once a week, and just that way I'm not monitoring my 55-gallon tote all the time. As far as the plants sucking the water down, it gets pretty hot, and this stuff can really drink up some water quick. The zucchini plants I've got going are doing really well. I've got zucchini that it seems like I'll pull 5 or 6 off, and then the next day I've got another 5 or 6 I need to pull, so they're producing really well. I've got 3 openings where they're growing, but I think I've got probably 2 plants in each actual opening, because you can tell there's 2 there growing out of that same basket. That's kind of how I have that set up on both sides. These are the tomato plants. I always feel like I'm behind on cutting the side shoots off of them, and I just cannot keep up with it. I hear a lot of people say that that's an issue for like mold and things like that, as far as giving the airflow, but luckily I live in a super dry climate in Utah, so I don't have to deal with that problem too bad. I mean, I'm constantly cutting buckets of side shoots off the bottom, and it's just, they're growing so fast I can't keep up with them, but they're still doing well. They're producing tomatoes and doing real well with that. Got more zucchini growing over here, doing really well. Cantaloupe, I just found out I've got some cantaloupe producing here on these that I didn't see till the back end. But all my pepper plants are getting real huge, growing really well. Lots of big peppers on there. I hear a lot of people talking about having to switch out your reservoirs and stuff like every 2 to 3 weeks. Guys, I don't ever switch out my reservoir. I don't know. I check it, and I'll top it off with nutrients if I need to raise the nutrient level. But the pH balance part of it, I mean, I balance that water in that IBC tote to 6, and then as it feeds it in there, it should stabilize it. I mean, if it's off a little bit, I can make adjustments when I'm adding my nutrient fluid in there to top it off. But other than that, it's really low maintenance. These guys that are switching out their entire reservoir every 2 to 3 weeks, it just seems like it's a lot bigger hassle than it needs to be, because the maintenance I have on this is pruning everything. Really, that's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of maintenance as far as monitoring levels so much as it is trying to keep track of what's growing where. The winter squash plant over here is doing well. It has thinned out a little bit in the center compared to how it was, but it doesn't seem to be slowing the growth down. There's vines growing up over the fence, and I've got this main squash here's growing. There's also one hiding back here growing. You can kind of see that. And then I didn't even know this one was back here, but there's one hiding back there that I didn't even know was there. So that one's produced. It's got 3 of them on it right now. These other ones you can see there's 2 there, and I think I got like 3 more on that one on the back side, and there's a couple on this as well on the other end there growing. And then the tomatoes, and you can see they're starting to show up on the plants there as they grow. But pepper plants in the cracky buckets are doing well. Everything's doing really well. I don't have any complaints, to be honest. Green beans, peppermint, or mint, I guess I should say. More cantaloupe. It's Kajari melon there. That'll be cool when those start coming in. More peppers growing on this bad boy. There's quite a few. This one hasn't got any peppers on it yet, but it's huge. It's getting big. Yeah, they're all doing well. I guess my audio was doing really crappy last time on the other video, so I do apologize about that. But I'm not an expert with audio, that's for sure. I don't usually do a lot of video. I'm a photographer as a trade, but I don't do a lot of video stuff. So if you can barely hear me, I apologize. Anyhow, just thought I'd send you guys another update, show you how well everything's doing. I'm gonna need to cut this one out. Looks like it's taking its course. It's a snap pea plant there, but get some more starts in there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to hit me up. Again, I just keep the reservoir, this is a 55-gallon reservoir, at 6.0 on the pH level. My ppms are around 1,000. That's all I keep them at the whole time. I don't play with spiking them when they're fruiting or anything like that. They do well. All the seasons I've grown them, I just keep it at 1,000, and they do well. And like I say, this big IBC tote, it's a 250-gallon tote with the water line that runs underneath and feeds it with the float valve, just so it keeps the water level maintained in there. And it's buried for temperature purposes. I mean, obviously you want to keep we've had some 100-degree temps lately, and you don't want your water getting up like that. It's not going to get any oxygen in the water with the bubblers if that's the case. So you want to ideally keep it cooler. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. It's like a natural chiller because the sidewalls of the soil, the ground is naturally cooler, so it'll help keep the water cooler. And I haven't had it get above like 76, 77 degrees on the hottest days, so it seems to be working pretty well. But yeah, I just thought I'd redo a little update here so you guys could see how everything's going and could hear me talking. I guess the other one wasn't the greatest on audio, but yeah, these cantaloupe plants are really starting to do well. Oh, one other one I wanted to show you. So that's a cantaloupe plant there. I planted it at the same time as the other ones, and that's just soil, obviously. These are in a recirculating DFT system, deep flow technique, and I have a DWC one I set up over here that is doing really well. This is just in like a 35-gallon tote that I've also got buried in the ground, so you can't even see the tote anymore, really. And then there's a bubbler in there. I got the air pump underneath this box with just a log to weigh it down, just to kind of waterproof it. But it's growing really well too, so I'm expecting it to start producing here soon. But anyhow, you guys have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Bye.